Hey there, friends. Today, I have an opportunity to preach and focusing on following Jesus and some of the things that I would love to just share with you on a Sunday morning as you think about making your way to worship or spend some time reflecting on your relationship with the Lord is that when Jesus says, follow me, he fully intends that when we say yes to him, that it means that we are saying no to everything else that doesn't fit with him. That following Jesus is not like a feeling that we just have in our hearts. It is us surrendering and submitting ourselves to him. And then that means the regular order and routine of our daily lives changes into one that helps us grow, helps us demonstrate our love for God, helps us to show our love for others, and that we begin to work at saying yes to what God wants and also work at saying no to what goes against the Lord. That it becomes a life of embracing what God has for us and resisting the ways of the world. And I would encourage you, if you just want to pick up some reading, a couple guys, more recent authors that I would recommend would be Justin Whitmel Early. He's written quite a bit on habits and just how powerful what we do day to day is, and that as Christians, our day to day really should be centered around our relationship with Jesus. And then a guy by the name of John Mark Comer has written some similar things as well, dealing with the hurry of the American life versus learning to live a more simple and intentional life as followers of Christ. And he also recently published a book called Practicing the Way that I would say brings together the work of so many other people plus his own in just helping to talk simply and clearly about what it looks like to follow Christ, not just in our hearts, but in a way that comes out of our hearts and into our mouths and through our hands. And when you go to worship today, the things that you hear, the message, the people that you're around, those are a part of our spiritual life, but there's another piece that is the practicing and the doing of what God has called us and gifted us and blessed us to be able to do in his name. And I would encourage you to worship this morning with what happens when you leave in mind, that God has a plan for you and a purpose for you, and that following him involves first saying yes to him and no to yourself in the world, and then it becomes a life of just ordinary means in which we, day in and day out, move lovingly towards God, lovingly towards other people, and day in and day out, say yes to him and to what is good and holy, and no to the things that are distracting and against him and of the world. Listen, he is good and he is worthy of our lives and of our worship. And I hope that you have a great day in the Lord today on Sunday.